Hi folks, how you doing? This is Iqbal with NVIDIA Daily Analysis. NVIDIA did a little recovery today, but not much. The market is still volatile. In this video, we'll discuss NVIDIA stock price assessment for tomorrow and early next week using economic data, fundamentals, and technical charts. Now, let's get started. Starting with the daily summary, Nvidia opened at 104.98. It made a high 109.65. It made a low 104.76 and it closed at 107.21. That is 0.94% up. If you take a look today's Nvidia stock chart, you see that Nvidia tried to go further up in the morning but did not have enough momentum. So it came down and continued to do sideways movement in the afternoon. So this is in line with my yesterday expectation. I expected today Nvidia should make a little recovery, but not much. But the good thing is Nvidia closed higher than the yesterday closing price. 106.21 yesterday versus 107.21 today. So not just Nvidia, overall market was volatile today as well. Let's take a look at S&P. You see S&P was down 0.30%, and you can also notice the volatility on the S&P chart for today. Ups and down and then up and then down again. But interestingly, Nasdaq was up today about 0.25%, but you can also notice volatility on Nasdaq as well. Ups and down and then again up and down. When Dow Jones closed negative, that is 0.54% down, you can still notice the volatility on Dow Jones as well. So out of three indices, two indices were down today, and that's S&P and Dow Jones. And one of the reason for today's volatility is the mixed job report. Let's take a look. So you can notice that the weekly initial jobless claim today came higher than the forecast, a little bit more, but less than the last month's cycle. 227K versus 225K forecast and 227K actual versus last month's cycle 232K. So numbers are mixed, right? And if you take a look ADP employment, it came lower than the forecast and also lower than the last cycle. So that tells that the employment change month over month is negative. Now let's take a look historical data for the ADP employment. So you see that in last four cycle, the actuals came lower than the forecast. So the trend is down on the ADP employment side. And you can also call it ADP non-farm employment. So in my opinion, that's not a good sign. So that tells that the labor market is weakening gradually month over month. So due to these mixed data, that's why market did not have a clear direction today. Another thing you might notice is about Avago or Broadcom. It's about 6.7% down after hours because they reported earnings and market did not like that. Let's take a look earnings number. So they were able to beat the earnings expectation by 2.79% and also revenue came higher than the forecast, 0.84% up. But it's a future outlook or the sales guidance for the future. That could be a problem, right? You can notice that the revenue is shrinking each quarter. So market is taking the future outlook as not very promising for Avago. So I guess this might impact Nvidia price movement for tomorrow as well. So there is a possibility that Nvidia close negative tomorrow. Now let's take a look more news regarding Nvidia. Starting with this one that says AI tech sector is not a bubble but diversification out of magnificent 7 is key, Goldman Sachs says. So thanks for telling us. And this is not a surprise for us, right? We all know that the AI sector is not a bubble at this point because Nvidia is overpriced a little bit, but not much. So still more room to go further up in the long term. Another one that's about Supermicro that says Supermicro down 60% since joining S&P 500. Barclays drops built instance on customer erosion and weak AI server margins. So Barclays, reduced the price target for SMCI probably yesterday, and that was about 440. So SMCI is more under pressure these days, and there are multiple reasons behind it. I can make a separate video on SMCI. But in my opinion, SMCI will stay down for some time. So it will take more time to recover than Nvidia. Now let's take a look this one that says Nvidia's future tied to LLMs and gaming despite AI capex skepticism remains a sector favorite. Analyst. So that's true, Nvidia core business operations or revenue used to be in gaming. An LLM factor could also help Nvidia. Let's try to open it. So this further says that the industry's real capability will only come out with next gen large language models like OpenGI, GPT-5 and Meta platforms. So that's true, right? We have lots of expectation regarding LLMs, but I guess the development will take more time, probably by end of Q4 or early next year. So now this one that says Bank of America Securities maintains buy on Nvidia and also maintains $165 price target. So that's a good thing. The financial institution still have confidence on Nvidia. Another one that's about Taiwan Semi that says Taiwan Semi's supplier dismisses sell-off, projects a strong AI growth surge. So that's a good thing for Taiwan Semi and also Nvidia. So that tells that future in the long term is strong, right? Again, this validates my finding that the volatility and the slowdown on Nvidia probably is short term, and in next few weeks, Nvidia should recover and bounce back. So now this one that says Nvidia investor do not need to worry unless the stock falls below these prices. So I don't want to go into that detail, but I will talk about these levels during my technical charts review in a bit. Another one, and that's again from Bank of America, that says Nvidia's near-term headwinds may create buying opportunity. And that is in line with my findings and analysis as well. I also think that Nvidia would make a very attractive buy opportunity around 100. And now this looks interesting. That says Tech Analyst raises red flags over Nvidia's heavy dependence on just 4 customers for Q2 revenue. Highly unusual for a company. I would like you guys to comment on that. What do you guys think? If this is a red flag for Nvidia or not. I guess that's all about news regarding Nvidia. Nothing different from yesterday. Now let's take a look other AI stocks. So you see that the highest negative change is in SMCI, that is 2.09% down, and the highest positive change is on Amazon, that is 2.63% up. So overall, you see most of the AI stocks are negative today. Now let's take a look forward P for Nvidia. Nvidia forward P at this point is at 34.81, much lower than the last week closing. So based on the forward P as well, Nvidia probably is a good buy opportunity at this time. Palantir 88.71, SMCI 13.05, AMD 36.22. So out of these 4 stocks, Nvidia is still a better buy. Now let's take a look historical data analysis for Nvidia. I captured the adjusted closing, the percentage increase, and the cumulative percentage increase for Nvidia after the earnings. So at this point, Nvidia is down about 8.73% on cumulative basis after earnings. And you can also see the graph. So continues to go down, but little recovery from yesterday. I track this kind of data every quarter that tells me how Nvidia is behaving in the same quarter before the earnings. And that also tells me that if the good buy opportunity is coming. Now let's take a look technical charts for Nvidia. You see 90-day hourly interval chart for Nvidia and also Fibonacci levels and also MACD. So starting with the Fibonacci levels, I selected the same lowest point and same highest point as yesterday, and based on that the next level of support was 103.8, and that was based on 62% Fibonacci retracement. And I made a comment yesterday and day before yesterday that this is a strong support level. It won't be easy for Nvidia to break it in just first attempt. At this time, Nvidia made an attempt to break this level multiple times since past few days, but was not able to break it. If that level is broken, then the next level of support is 93.86. And this level is also a very strong support level. And this is based on 78.6% Fibonacci retracement levels. Looking at the MACD chart, as we noted yesterday, that MACD line started to gain some momentum. So it went up, but is still below zero level. And the momentum looks like it's weakening, is not steeper as we saw yesterday. The line is going down a little bit. So I guess that's all about NVIDIA analysis and assessment for tomorrow and early next week. And I have the similar opinion. I think that we should not get too much worried about NVIDIA slowdown at this point. This looks temporary, and NVIDIA should be able to bounce back in the near future. And at the same time, these lower level makes NVIDIA a good buy for those investors who were waiting to find a good buy point for NVIDIA. I hope you liked the video. Thank you so much for watching. Talk to you more tomorrow. Take care.